What really happened between Brooklyn Peltz Beckham and his famous parents, David and Victoria Beckham? For years, rumors of tension inside the Beckham family have circulated quietly in celebrity news. Missed appearances, noticeable absences at family events, and subtle social media clues led many to speculate that something was wrong. Now, for the first time, Brooklyn Peltz Beckham has spoken publicly and in detail about what he says caused a deep and lasting rift. Brooklyn, the eldest son of David and Victoria Beckham, married actress and heiress Nicola Peltz in 2022. Their wedding was widely covered, attended by hundreds of guests, and framed publicly as a glamorous union between two powerful families. But behind the scenes, Brooklyn says the weeks leading up to the wedding marked the beginning of a conflict that would permanently change his relationship with his parents. According to Brooklyn, tensions escalated as plans for the wedding moved forward. He claims that before the ceremony even took place, his parents pressured him to sign documents related to his name, identity, and branding. Brooklyn says he was uncomfortable with what he describes as attempts to control his personal and professional autonomy, something he now believes had been happening for much of his life. This disagreement, he says, set the tone for what followed. One of the most emotional flashpoints involved Nicola Peltz's wedding dress. Brooklyn explains that his mother, Victoria Beckham, a globally recognized fashion designer, initially offered to design Nicola's gown. For Nicola, this gesture reportedly carried deep meaning, symbolizing acceptance into the family. Plans were made, expectations were set, and the dress was anticipated as a centerpiece of the wedding. But according to Brooklyn, everything changed just days before the ceremony. He says Victoria abruptly withdrew from making the dress, leaving Nicola scrambling at the last minute to find an alternative. Brooklyn describes the experience as heartbreaking for his wife, especially given the emotional significance attached to wearing a dress designed by her future mother-in-law. The sudden change, he claims, caused stress and pain during what should have been a celebratory moment. And that, Brooklyn says, was only the beginning. The most shocking allegation in Brooklyn's statement centers on the wedding reception itself. Specifically, what was meant to be his first dance with Nicola. Brooklyn says the moment had been planned well in advance and was deeply personal. But in front of roughly 500 guests, he claims the moment was unexpectedly taken from them. According to Brooklyn, his mother announced herself, called him onto the stage, and danced with him instead of allowing him to share the moment with his bride. Brooklyn describes feeling stunned, embarrassed, and powerless as the room reacted. He says Nicola left the room in tears. For Brooklyn, that moment became symbolic of what he says was a lifelong pattern, moments that should have belonged to him being overtaken or controlled. In the aftermath of the wedding, Brooklyn claims the situation did not improve. He alleges that both he and Nicola were subjected to disrespectful behavior, including comments that suggested Nicola was not truly part of the family. Brooklyn says the idea that his wife was considered not blood deeply affected him and reinforced his belief that she was never fully accepted. The distance became more visible to the public as time went on. Brooklyn and Nicola were noticeably absent from several high-profile family events. One of the most talked-about moments came when Brooklyn did not attend his father David Beckham's milestone birthday celebration. According to Brooklyn, the reason was simple but painful. Nicola was not welcome, and he refused to attend without his wife. Brooklyn says that choice marked a turning point. In his statement, he explains that stepping away from his family brought an unexpected sense of relief. He says years of anxiety began to fade once he stopped trying to manage expectations and control that he believes defined his upbringing. For the first time, he says, he felt free to live on his own terms. Brooklyn also alleges that misleading narratives about him and Nicola were shared with the media, painting them in a negative light while protecting the public image of others. He claims this left him feeling unheard and misrepresented, ultimately pushing him to speak out publicly. So far, David and Victoria Beckham have not issued a detailed public response to Brooklyn's allegations. Their silence has only intensified speculation and debate online, with fans divided over the situation. Some sympathize with Brooklyn's decision to prioritize his marriage, while others question whether such deeply personal matters should have been shared publicly. What makes this story resonate beyond celebrity gossip is its underlying theme: the struggle between family loyalty and personal boundaries. Brooklyn's account reflects a broader conversation about control, independence, and what it means to grow up under constant public scrutiny. For decades, the Beckham family has represented success, unity, and global influence. This sudden and public fracture challenges that image and reveals the pressures that can exist even within seemingly perfect families. As of now, the rift appears unresolved. Brooklyn has made it clear that he is standing by his wife and focusing on his own well-being, even if that means maintaining distance from his parents. If you're finding this breakdown helpful, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to CODEDNEWS for clear, factual updates on major breaking news, entertainment, and family news stories. Whether reconciliation will ever happen remains uncertain. But one thing is clear: this is no longer just a rumor. It's a deeply personal conflict playing out on a global stage, and it has permanently changed how the public views one of the world's most famous families.